We had a meeting, last, or one night, in the past, and there was, the word was sacrifice. I think Murph, brought it up, it may have been in our readings or whatever thing. But what I'm telling you about these words, anytime you hear a word or a topic or something like that, if you people are really interested in following through and see what's real in the big book and what's not real and what's hearsay and what's not, there's a site you can go to, and it's called 164 and More. And of course, all of you know that, well, you should know that the first 164 pages of the big book are the meat and potatoes of it. The rest are stories in the back of the book. And so this gives you good instruction, basically, more than anything. It says that the word sacrifice occurs 9 times in the big book, or occurs 9 times. 4 in the big book, 5 in the 12 and 12, and I hope everybody's reading both of those books along with your sponsor too. And so the word sacrifice in the 12 and 12, it said spiritual substance of anonymity is sacrifice. And then in the 12 and 12 it says the same. Spiritual substance of anonymity is sacrifice. Then in the big book on page 93 it said sacrifice and unselfish constructive action. And it says to be vital faith must be accompanied by self-sacrifice and unselfish constructive action. Sacrifice for others, he could not survive. And this is on page 14, 15 in Bill's story. It says, for if the alcoholic failed to perfect and enlarge his spiritual life through work and self-sacrifice for others, he could not survive the certain trials and low spots ahead. Then in the 12 and 12 on page 130, it says, realization dawns that he is but a small part of a great whole, that no personal sacrifice is too great for preservation of the fellowship. Then in the big book on page 79, therefore we are not to be the hasty and foolish martyr who would needlessly sacrifice others to save himself from the alcoholic pit. And then in the doctor's opinion, and this is very important, that there are many situations which arise out of the phenomenon of craving, which I hope you're all familiar with, which causes men to make the supreme sacrifice rather than continue to fight. Then in the 12 and 12, on page 142, shouldn't we sacrifice this one for the sake of many? And then the 12 and 12 on page 24, who wants to sacrifice time and energy in trying to carry AA's message to the next sufferer? And that's probably one of the greatest things that they discovered in Alcoholics Anonymous was carrying the message. And I've heard it said that carrying the message of a spiritual awakening or a spiritual experience. And so, well, that's what I got for you tonight. Just remember that 164 and more. If you can ask it any question you want to, and it'll probably be answered. Okay, thank you. That's all I got.
Thank you for sharing.